gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the Spirit and the power. Spirit, draw near. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power. Spirit, draw near. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power. Spirit, draw near.
Good morning, and welcome to Horizon Unitarian Universalist Church. I'm Pam Schumann, and I'm a worship associate here at Horizon today. I have been with the church almost from the beginning, almost charter as they say, and I am active in many things, and of course all those years in many other things, but currently Horizon Players, Worship Arts, the Flower Lady, and the Aesthetics Committee and the Building Committee. My preferred pronouns are she, her, and we are excited to welcome you to our service today. We're so glad you're with us, and whether you're joining us in person or online, whether you're here for the first time or whether you've been here for longer than you can remember. Here at Horizon, we welcome people of all faiths and of no faith in particular. Whoever you are, wherever you are on your journey, you are welcome among us. As a community, we also welcome the sharing of joys, sorrows, and concerns. You are welcome to fill out a joys and sorrows slip here on the table or in the back of your seats and bring them up to the joys and sorrows basket, little bowl here, and you can also light a candle if you wish. This can be done at any time during the service through the Offertory. Once the service is over, everyone is invited to continue sharing their thoughts with one another over coffee and tea in Fellowship Hall. Before we begin, we have a few announcements. I encourage you to read those printed announcements in your order of service as well. They usually have a front and a back, so don't miss the backside. First thing I will say, because it's coming up soon, is about Horizon Players 2023 Summer Dessert Theater, our 29th year. So yes, thank you. I've been a member since the beginning in 1994, and this summer we have a wonderful play called Everyone, written by our own Jim Sturdivant. Tickets are on sale in Fellowship Hall today and next Sunday, or you can drop us a line at players@horizonuu.org, and we will save a ticket for you, and you can pick it up and pay for it at will call if you do it online. Then I would like to invite Jamie Peace to come up to say something about the also soon upcoming Horizon Women's Retreat.
Hello, everybody. All right, so if you weren't here last week, or if you were, you can hear it again. The 2023 Women's Retreat is coming up in October. It's the Friday evening, the 6th, through Sunday noon, the 8th of October. Registration starts today. Yay! If you didn't see Deb in the fellowship hall, right? Earlier. And then she and I will be in there after church, after service, if you want to sign up there. There is In the green insert, there's a QR code that'll take you to the registration page. There's a QR code back. There's a million different ways to find where to sign up. On the newsletter. So it's super fun. This year's theme is sisterhood. And it's just, if you are female identifying, you are welcome. 18 and up? Yes, 18 and up. And it's just a lot of fun and bonding and fellowship, and it's really great. If you don't let financial distress be a deterrent, there are scholarship funds. I was actually a beneficiary of that last year, and I'm so grateful for it. So please don't let that be a deterrent if that's an issue for you, okay? All right, thanks.
And we have one more announcement. A Horizon host is available at the Meet the Member table in Fellowship Hall after service. Lots going on in Fellowship Hall besides coffee and tea. Please stop by that table to chat. They'll be happy to meet you, and you can ask your questions about UUism, what's happening at Horizon, what it means to be a member of our church, and anything else you want to know about our congregation.
Good morning. I am Alex Jacobson, and I am your service leader today. I have been and am an active participant with Horizon Players, Horizon Pagans, Horizon Choir, and I am often found here helping various activities, committees, and peoples. My preferred pronouns are he, him, and I am currently wearing a sage-colored polo shirt, short-sleeved, and wearing black dress pants. What? I was a delegate this year. I paid attention. Our call to worship this morning comes from Sarah Moores Campbell in the 701 in the Gray Hymnal, who says, "We receive fragments of holiness, glimpses of eternity, brief moments of insight. Let us gather them up for the precious gifts that they are, and renewed by their grace, move boldly into the unknown." Come, let us start that gathering this morning. Come, let us worship together. Our chalice lighting comes from also the Gray Hymnal. Dag Hammarskjöld reminds us each morning we must hold out the chalice of our being to receive, to carry, and to give back. And now we'll read the affirmation of this church, already projected behind me and printed in your order of service. Love is a doctrine of our church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve humanity in harmony with the earth, thus do we covenant together.
If you could please rise as you're willing or able in body or spirit, and join me in singing "We Sing of Golden Mornings," number 44 in your Gray Hymnal, and the words are projected on the screen. We sing of golden mornings, we sing of sparkling seas, of prairies, valleys, mountains, and stately forest trees. We sing of flashing sunshine and life-bestowing rain, of birds among the branches and springtime come again. We sing the heart courageous, the youthful eager mind. We sing of hopes undaunted, of friendly ways and kind. We sing the roses waiting beneath the deep piled snows. We sing the earth's great splendor, whose beauty round us shows.
Horizon partners with MetroCrest services to serve people in our wider community. You might notice a MetroCrest basket right below this table. And at this time, if you have brought donations for MetroCrest, such as shelf-stable food items, personal care products like toiletries, menstrual products, and dish or laundry soap, would you please pass them down to the ends of the aisles? Because I would like to invite any young people or young at heart, and I really need you today. This is going to be an interactive service, so if anybody can come help me answer some questions, I'd love for them to come to the front row over here. So would you please pass down your donations? And if you are young, I'd like you to come sit over here, please. I know, there's so many donations. They are like overfilling the basket. It's wonderful. So I'm going to ask some of our folks that are down here, thank you so much for helping me with this story. Did you used to read stories like this when you were little? Yeah. So I'm not going to read this book to you, but it's called Peekaboo, I Love You. It's one of those books that has flaps, like little doors. So you said you like these, right? So why did you like these kind of books when you were little? Or maybe not so little. I mean, I still kind of enjoy them. Let me show you this one. So you can see it says, well, I'm just going to read this part to you. Who's that tucked in there so sweet? And there's a little house, and you can see a little animal peeking through there, right? And then when you lift the flap, there's more. It says, a happy dog enjoying a treat. So I'm going to tell you why I love these kinds of books. I love these kinds of books because, well, it's like with this little door here, if I flip it over, like I can kind of tell what's going to happen, but when I really flip it open, there's a big surprise. Like, oh, it was a black and white dog with a little white body, and it had a bone, maybe a milk bone or something like that. So I love the surprise and the little joy it gives me. We call those glimmers, right? Those things that give you joy. So there's something else that gives me joy, just like these little doors. And they're actual doors. I mean, think about it. We all have doors in our family, in our houses. Our bedrooms have doors. Some have windows. Some are solid. Some are totally glass. But every time you go through a door, there is still like a little surprise, like a little mystery behind it, right? So doors can lead to mystery and the unknown. Like a door, you're going to hear today from our speaker, a door of a church can take you down a pathway of growth that you never expected. Other doors could be a doctor's office door, where you get a diagnosis, which might be hard or difficult, or maybe good. Maybe there's a restaurant door, and for those of you who are old enough, maybe there is a first date waiting for you there. And it's the beginning of a brand new romantic relationship. Or maybe it's the other way. A beloved person closes their door behind you, cutting off a relationship, and you become heartbroken. Or think about other doors to libraries, to gyms, maybe a dance studio that you go to. All those doors open up to wonderful things, maybe to passions you have or things you've just discovered. And so we go through these doors every day of our lives, for good, for ill, for joy, for sorrow, in bittersweet truth. And truly, even our front door is like a portal. No matter how familiar you are with the surroundings here, every Sunday is different. Every time you come in here, it's different. The words we say in the service are different. And it just reminds us how constantly our lives are changing for the good or for bad. It's because our lives, our reality is a constant change. And every day we open the same old door, but only to step out into a world that is new and different since the last one. And so in this way, there's a new world behind every door, even if you can see through it a little bit, even if it's slightly ajar. And what we do is we wait for the discovery behind it if we just be open to the mystery of what's behind every door. So thank you all for helping me tell that story. We are going to go ahead to our rooms now. So let's go ahead and sing you out to your classes.
May your minds be open to new learning. May your lips bring truth into the world. May your heart know love and your hands do the work of justice as you go your way in peace. As you go your way in peace.
Let there be an offering to sustain and strengthen this place, which is sacred to so many of us, a community of memory and of hope, for we are now the keepers of the dream. That's found in the hymnal, 674. The offertory will now be given and beautifully received.
Our first reading today comes from Shel Silverstein. Long-Leg Lou and Short-Leg Sue. Long-Leg Lou and Short-Leg Sue went for a walk down the avenue, laughing and joking like good friends do. Long-Leg Lou and Short-Leg Sue. Says Long-Leg Lou to Short-Leg Sue, "Can't you walk any faster than you do? It really drives me out of my mind that I'm always in front and you're always behind. Says short-leg Sue to long-leg Lou, I walk as fast as I'm meant to do. Then I'll go walking with someone new, says long-leg Lou to short-leg Sue. Now long-leg Lou, he walks alone, looking for someone with legs like his own. And sometimes he thinks of those warm afternoons back when he went walking with short-leg Sue. And short-leg Sue strolls down the street, hand in hand with Slowfoot Pete. And they take small steps, and they do just fine. And no one's in front, and no one's behind. So ends the reading. We will now take time to honor the joys and sorrows of this community, knowing that we are all interconnected, and what affects one affects us all. The Horizon Friends of Andy Hunt. We share in the sorrow that Andy Hunt's partner, Chrissy McFarland, passed away unexpectedly July 30th. Our deepest sympathies to Andy. And from Alex, and I know many of us, we have a sorrow for the people of Maui and Hawaii, sorrow for the beautiful island of Maui and its devastating wildfires, sorrow for the tremendous loss of life. Now we come to the mixed joys and sorrows. One of the mixed joys and sorrows is also from Alex regarding the U.S. women's soccer team. Sorrow that they were eliminated, but joy that Women's World Cup is still on. And the mixed joy and sorrow from Madeira McKee regarding all students, teachers, and parents. I think you can guess what this one is, but for the joys and sorrows of ending a summer and starting a new school year. Good luck to all. And now we come to some wonderful joys. The first comes from Lisa Casto, our president. We have a new roof. The gutters are being installed tomorrow and the sprinklers are fixed. She thanks the building committee and especially Tina Strobel. And last but not least, from Laura Wooten, 28 years of wedded bliss to Jeff Wooten. We light a candle this morning to honor all the joys and sorrows that have gone unspoken and reside only in our hearts.
That's just water, by the way. As we move into prayer and meditation, please let us take a moment to just cleanse our spirit and focus our energy. Close your eyes as you are comfortable and willing. We breathe and listen to the world around us. We've all come from busy lives and hectic schedules. Leave those worries at the door. Imagine placing them in a bag or satchel outside the sanctuary. When we're through with the service, you can pick them up or leave them behind. Now take a deep breath. In, 2, 3, 4. Release, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Release, 2, 3, 4. Listen with purpose to others. Take time to be silent while listening intently to whom and what is happening outside of yourself. Listen, hear the breathing. It's good to hear the sounds in between the silences. As we live and interact with each other day to day and night to night, may we hear not only with our ears, but with our hearts and minds. May we share with those we meet in any way, not just with our words, but with our entire being. May we find our shared strengths and weaknesses, our shared goals and fears, so that we can work together to grow stronger, individually and as a community, a congregation, sharing our work and play, solitude and friendship, loneliness and belonging, but not just for ourselves, for all those we encounter and those we may never meet as well. With a sense of gratitude, we breathe, 2, 3, 4. Release, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Release, 2, 3, 4. Let us continue. Now, if we may, rise in body or spirit, as you are willing or able, for our responsive hymn, From You I Receive, number 402, and on there.
From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live.
Our second reading comes from a few collected thoughts and humor attributed to Groucho Marx. While money can't buy happiness, it certainly lets you choose your own recovery. Those are my principles. If you don't like them, I have others. Politics is the art of looking for trouble, finding it everywhere, diagnosing it incorrectly, and applying the wrong remedies. Every morning when I open my eyes and I say to myself, I, not events, have the power to make me happy or unhappy today. I can choose which it should be. Yesterday is dead, tomorrow hasn't happened yet. I have just one day today, and I'm going to be happy in it. Getting older is no problem. You just have to live long enough. Time wounds, all heals. And outside of a dog, a book is man's best friend. Inside of a dog, it's too dark to read. Okay, so here we go. The name Christopher Edward Lynch will mean nothing to anyone else here, but he was my best friend, at times my only friend, more like a brother to me. He remains with me in my mind and heart to this day. Back in 2012, at the age of 50, he passed unexpectedly. This rocked my world. See, we had been friends for 20 years, and we were spiritually inseparable, although we lived in different states for a good portion of those years. High long-distance phone bills and then eventually cell phones and emails helped to keep the friendship going. Over the years, we learned many things from each other. He taught me how to look at and understand movies and what makes them good and sometimes bad. He taught me about the silent films of Buster Keaton, the wacky genius of Ernie Kovacs, and the incomparable timing of Julius Groucho Marx, although I was already aware of the Marx Brothers. He taught me how to appreciate and find the funny in so many situations. That last Groucho quote was a particular favorite of his. I taught him what loyalty and friendship could be like, and that was probably the only thing I did teach him. Chris's best qualities were kindness and good humor, and those qualities that I have learned to share with others because he shared them with me. You would have liked him, and he would have actually liked it here, except for the heat. When I was asked to lead this service today and put a sermon together, I drew a blank. Sermon writing isn't simple. But after a couple of weeks flew by, and last night fell into this morning, I was still blank. But I did find the path to get to where we are now by continuing to remember and cherish a friend that I carry with me, and by passing that message to others. Oh, fiddlesticks. When I first walked through that outer door into Horizon UU Church in January 2019, I hadn't heard of Unitarian Universalism, or that there was such a thing as liberals in North Texas. Come to find out, y'all were hiding in plain sight. I come from a liberal background in New Jersey with my parents and most of my family. The reason I was walking through those doors that day was unexpected and for a meeting I did not want to go to. It was for my mental health. I was going to be in a group setting to get outside myself. I had no idea, in fact, that it would help my overall mental health profoundly. After coming to that group for a couple of weeks, sharing nothing but my name, I ended up wandering these hallways, trying to figure out where I was, more existentially than physically. This beautifully designed space offered my mind calmness with its peaceful interior and mildly pleasant scented hallways. I joined many groups in the first 2 weeks of visiting on Sundays. Deb Freeman was the first member to approach me. I joined the choir. Lynn Hendy was the second member. I joined the gardening group and helped build fences. That lovely garden out there. I was out of a job at the time, so I had a lot of time to spare. The third peoples to approach me were the Horizon Players folks. I joined them too. See, in my whole life, up to that point, my whole adult life after high school, I had never joined anything. I worked every day and I never volunteered anywhere. I only gave my talents and my skills to continue to work at jobs that I wished were more fun, more enlightening. I still work paycheck to paycheck, but now I feel better about looking outside myself and helping here while collecting the paycheck over there. It is super easy, by the way, to help out around here. Turns out all you do is show up, offer whatever services you can, any way that you can, and pitch in. See, my therapist told me that that would be a good way to get outside of myself for years. And for years, I did not believe him, or possibly I didn't want to believe him. When I joined Horizon Players, I hadn't performed in front of people since high school, which was a long time ago, by the way. I know I look youthful, but I'm a little old. I hadn't sung in front of people in a long time. This place felt right. I met really special people and have continued to do so because I took the chance to open those doors and walk through Horizon Church. I made a few friends that year and enjoyed the holidays and special occasions with them. From early 2020 until Horizon opened back up for in-person services, I, like others, had been distanced. Coming back to full-time to Horizon was not a guarantee for me. I didn't know who would still be here or who, in fact, I would be when I got here. The body was willing, the spirit was unsure. Last year, I started attending Sunday services, already in progress, and was pleasantly surprised that I had found my place again in these hallways and in the sacred spaces. Joined all the things again. The summer play was wonderful last year. It was fun. Eventually, I rejoined the choir. Then, without any idea of it, I became surrounded by friends. Some new, some from the before times. It felt better to have them than not. Again, walking through those doors at Horizon helped to create bonds I couldn't possibly imagine. Since about the age of 6, I believed in Star Wars. It became my primary religious experience. I was raised Jewish, however, it guided me to Star Wars, not became my life. I was content to assume that Star Wars was it. That was all I needed. As time passed, not much changed for me spiritually. I had no interest in joining any churches or synagogues, and almost none of my friends were religious at all. The people who know us somewhat encourage us to join things, to be a part of stuff. Other than speaking to my friend Chris on calls, I spent very little time developing new relationships and over the years creating anxiety over even just being able to, could I make new friendships? When I moved to Texas in 2005, I was pretty much just hanging out with my sister. I love her, she's great, but I became a decent third wheel for her life. Mostly I thought, none of my life mattered much. I thought, I have very little future. Turns out, my brain was giving me very bad information. Through all the time spent with others here, I have found a more connected path of spirituality, not just spiritual calm, but that having connections with people is far healthier for me and for you than most of us realize. For instance, with these groups, I have started to see future possibilities. With Horizon Pagans, I can be more myself publicly and privately than I ever thought possible. Horizon Players has given me the space to perform and share my self-taught theater skills. Come join us in 2 weeks. Singing with the choir allows me to help bring joy and music to our collective ears. There are so many different opportunities I've found whenever I've stepped outside of my depressive, destructive lizard brain. Often, this seems unfathomable at the time, especially when we are not able to get out of our own way. Recovery groups talk about a hierarchy of values, making a list of the most important values that we hold, which can aid us in focusing our intentions in recovery. I didn't make a list 4 years ago at those meetings. I did not feel I had very sound values. Now I understand what values I do hold and where those values matter most to me. In moving through doorways we've been too frightened or unsure of, it's hard to make sense of things. Happiness is weird. I cannot tell you how many times I've thought and said out loud, I will never know joy or happiness in the past 30 years. But finding people whom I can share and be vulnerable with, the walls suddenly start coming down. Sometimes it's not so bad. When shame and guilt hover darkly over our lives, we tend to hide and don't tell people or ask people for help or to help us. Taking chances with friends, making friends, is a lot like walking through an unexpected doorway. The unexpected doorway is the one we hadn't intended to go through, but it has the potential to make a world of difference. That's the thing about those chances worth taking. We force ourselves to walk through the unexpected doorways, but it isn't until we're through them with a little distance behind us that we can begin to see that the path we took has meaning and is special. Take time to notice the doorways you've gone through that lead to special places. Remember to always be kind to yourself and others. Give yourself a break once in a while. And finally, don't go into a tiger cage. That doorway is not very helpful. Our closing hymn is found in the teal. It's 1009, Meditation on Breathing.
Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out,
We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. This is part of our mission to welcome radically, love boldly, grow spiritually, and serve courageously. We do this because we envision a beloved community filled with compassion, helping all to thrive in a just world.
And as we join hands, as you are comfortable, make sure to look around and greet someone you haven't met yet. As we say at the end of our pagan rituals, merry meet and merry part and merry meet again. Blessed be.